Please subscribe my channel. I found them by accident, folded into the small inner pocket of her purse, the one she never used for keys or lipstick. Condoms. 3 of them. No. Unopened. Sitting there like a quiet confession that didn't know I was listening. I didn't yell. I didn't confront her. I just stood in the hallway holding her purse, realizing how fast a marriage can turn into a question you don't want answered. We had been married 6 years. Long enough to stop performing love and start living inside it. Or so I thought. Our routines were boring in the safe way. Coffee in the morning. Notes on the fridge. The same argument about dishes every Sunday. Nothing dramatic. Nothing suspicious. That's what made it worse. Betrayal never announces itself with fireworks. It arrives wearing normal clothes. At first, my brain tried to protect me. Maybe they were old. Maybe a friend asked her to hold them. Maybe she was planning something for us. Denial is creative when it's desperate. I put the purse down and walked away, telling myself to forget what I saw. But forgetting takes effort, and effort means you already know the truth. That night, she talked about her day while scrolling on her phone. She laughed at something I couldn't see. I nodded at the right moments, playing my role. All I could think about was that pocket, those 3 small packages, and how calmly she was breathing. I realized then that the most painful part isn't the act. It's the ease. How naturally people lie when they've practiced. I didn't sleep. I didn't cry either. I lay there staring at the ceiling, replaying moments I had ignored. Late meetings. A new password. Her sudden interest in her appearance on random weekdays. Nothing incriminating on its own. Everything devastating together. By morning, the shock had settled into something colder. Clarity. I knew confronting her would give her control. Tears, excuses, anger, blame. A story shaped to make me the villain for asking questions. I didn't want a story. I wanted the truth to feel as heavy to her as it did to me. So I did the only thing that felt honest. I waited until she left for work. I took the condoms out of her purse and placed them on the table. Then I opened our wedding album. I chose a photo from the first page. Us standing under cheap white flowers, smiling like people who believed promises were permanent. I folded the photo carefully and slid it into the same pocket. Then I returned the purse exactly where it had been. It wasn't revenge. It was a mirror. When she came home, she didn't say anything at first. She put her purse down, changed clothes, moved around the apartment like always. I watched her from the kitchen, calm on the outside, steady on the inside. Eventually she froze. Her hand lingered inside the purse longer than normal. Her breathing changed. She walked into the living room holding the photo like it was evidence. She asked me what it meant. Not angrily. Not softly. Confused. That's when I knew she understood. I told her I found something that didn't belong in our marriage and I replaced it with something that did. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse her of anything specific. I didn't need to. Her silence filled every gap. She sat down. She didn't cry right away. She tried to speak, stopped, tried again. I waited. For the first time in weeks, maybe months, she didn't control the pace. I did. Finally, she admitted there was someone else. No details. No timeline. Just enough truth to confirm what I already knew. I listened without interrupting. Not because I forgave her, but because I respected myself enough not to beg for scraps of honesty. When she finished, she asked if I hated her. I told her hate requires energy, and right now I was focused on decisions. That answer scared her more than anger would have. I packed a bag that night. Not everything. Just what I needed. Before I left, I took the wedding photo back out of her purse and placed it on the table between us. I told her memories don't disappear when respect does, but they change shape. Then I walked out. People think moments like these are loud. They aren't. They're quiet and heavy and final. The real power isn't in catching someone. It's in choosing how you respond when the truth shows itself without apology. I learned something important in the days that followed. Closure doesn't come from explanations or apologies. It comes from alignment. When your actions finally match what you know, the noise fades. Friends asked why I didn't fight harder, why I didn't demand answers, why I walked away so calmly. I told them calm isn't weakness. Calm is the sound of self-respect settling into place. I wasn't trying to punish her. I was trying to save myself from becoming someone I wouldn't recognize. Trust, once cracked, doesn't shatter loudly. It leaks. And eventually you're empty. Walking away was the first honest decision I'd made in a long time. If there's a lesson here, it's simple. When you see the truth, don't negotiate with it. Don't decorate it. Don't beg it to change. Hold it, acknowledge it, and choose yourself without performing pain for an audience. Dignity lasts longer than anger. I know some people will say this ending is cold. They prefer explosions, shouting, revenge. But silence teaches faster. It forces accountability without spectacle. I didn't need to win an argument. I needed to keep my spine straight. That photo wasn't a threat. It was a reminder of who I was before excuses entered the room. Some truths don't require discussion. They require distance. I left with clarity, not chaos, and that choice rewrote the story I tell myself about love, boundaries, and the quiet power of leaving when respect finally matters most.